Here we are with the very beginnings of a new guitar. It's a harp guitar, and it's a lyre harp guitar, and it's going to have 24 strings on it. I've roughly drawn this out. Not one bit of it's accurate, apart from the scale length to there. I've just drawn everything out just to see how I'm going to actually start making it, because it's going to be a combination jig that I'm going to build. It will suffice for all acoustic guitars then. But this is going to be based on this board, and I should be able to make different acoustics off this board when I've set it out. But let's say this is going to have, it'll have 10 strings on this part section, 6 strings down the centre as a normal guitar, and another 8 over this side. And they'll all be drone strings, so you can just tune them and just play them along to whatever chords you want to tune to there. It's quite an interesting project. It'll, I say it's acoustic, and it's going to take 12 months to build. This is just the initial drawing. Nothing's accurate yet, apart from, like I say, the scale length. We'll go from there and then work out, start making progress. First bit we've started. The woods I'm going to use on this, I've already decided. The whole body is going to be a wine koa, front, back and sides. All these will be reasonably thick, but it's got to take a lot of tension, so I'm using Brazilian mahogany spliced and overlaid with maple and then an ebony covering. Obviously it will be ebony 3-piece bridge, ebony fingerboard, and the neck's going to be Brazilian mahogany too. I'll probably put a nice ebony facing on the headstock. It's going to be quite exotic when it's finished. It'll be a beautiful thing. I think a beauty like me. This is the wine koa. It's absolutely beautiful pieces of wood these are. That's going to be the table, and I've got the same for the back, and there's the sides. All matched, as you can see. Perfectly matched. This is a Brazilian mahogany I'm using for the neck. It's 2 pieces off one plank, turned and spun round and turned so it won't warp. It is glue. I know you can't see the line, but that's how perfect my joints are. And this is some of my ebony, so this is ebony blocks I'll be using for all different sections. I'll be cutting out for fingerboards and everything. I've had this in a long time, and just cut out sections when needed. Look at the marbling in this, it's absolutely beautiful stuff. Cost me a lot of money a long time ago. So this is all the wood's going in it. I've got some spruce for the bars inside. That's all got to be carved. As I say, it's a long job. It's going to take 12 months. So in between there, I shall probably have to try and make a living making ordinary guitars as well. But it's going to be very, very nice. It's very nice piece. Everything's top quality woods I'm going to use in this, as I always do. So there we have it. There's the kit of parts that I've assembled for the whole job. And I'll start making it. I'm still finishing. I've got to finish the drawing. I say the drawing is very rough, as you can see. It is to scale, and it's probably pretty close to how the finished size is going to be, but I'm not certain exactly on everything yet. I think these are too curved at the moment, so I've just got to readjust all those and work out the scales properly. It will be done though. I just wanted to see if that size would work, and it will. Here we are then. We're at another stage now on the 24 string harp lyre guitar, and I've made the jig now for, just let me show you, I've made the jig for that bit. That's the curve there, you can just about see it on the drunken drawing there. And now I've made the jig, which in MDF. I've made the jig for that, and I've made a jig for that bit. So now I've just spliced up this Brazilian mahogany. See? And what I'm going to do now, when I've planed it obviously, and cut it to size, I shall be bending it around the jig, because very gingerly, and we'll glue that as a composite like so. It'll be very, very strong then, and it'll stay in place. The bend will stay then. Once it's all glued up, I'll use a good Tartar bond glue probably. That'll be that. Same thing over there. I'm now just about to do the neck. All in the same Brazilian mahogany. Everything will be used, all coming out the same. I've decided to put a splice of wenge up the neck because it's very stable, very rigid. With me using Brazilian, I like to put a. This is just off one plank. All I've done is cut it down and spun it round and twisted it over, so that one will counteract the other. It's quarter sawn and it's Brazilian. It's been in my possession a few years, and I've got it off a good source that I've had it for 20 odd years. It's very old. All the Brazilian is I've got. So all very old, very stable. So we should have a beautiful. Now the neck, you can see this. I'm not putting scarf joint on it. I'm not putting any back bend on this neck. It'll be constructed a bit like a fender neck, in as much as it'll just be scooped out like so for the headstock, because the bend of the 24 string will basically come across it there and join it. So that needs to be flat, not bending angled backwards. I mean, I could do it with an angle backwards, but it would look ugly. So we're going to go for a flatter headstock on an acoustic. But the whole thing is different. So that's the drawing, the jig I've made so far. As you can see, I've made all jigs for all these shapes. There will fit all stainless steel clamps that adjust up and down and sideways, in and out, so the sides will be held against them. So when you look at it, it looks almost like I know what I'm doing. Next stage on the 24 string, there's the neck. Like I said before, this is going to be quite flat. It's going to have just like a fender. I've made the little blocks for the heels all out the same wood, so they'll just all, and then they'll obviously cut out like that. Okay, so they're all off the same thing, so they all match through. So there's the stage of that so far, and I've even marked the side. Look at that with proper pencil. Now the next thing is I'm also getting these prepared. These are all off the same plank. All this mahogany. It's all Brazilian and it's all very old. I've mentioned that before. Now I've spliced them, I've planed them, and I've sanded them. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to build a little steamer. I'm going to steam the wood slightly, and then I'm going to bend it round. This is the former that I've made, jig, and I shall bend these all round. Obviously all the 7 pieces, and then they'll all be glued individually to each other. Once they've all set, they'll stay permanently in that shape there to form this bit. This is the harp section of the harp lyre guitar. Those bits there go over that side, and they for the lyre guitar section. All the same pieces of wood. I've also marked them up on the edge. You can see there, so there's a mark, so I know which fits where, and you'll see the reason why. Okay, that does fit there. So the reason why is because I've got all the grains opposing all the way through, so it just makes it a little bit stronger. So these will all be bent like that, round that, and they'll stay in place, and they'll form a nice rigid section for the harp lyre neck. That's where we're up to now. Thank you. I'm just going through all my stock of truss rods. Well, I've got quite a lot of different ones. These are single ones. They're not married yet. These are twins. These work forward and back as well. They'll bend the neck upwards or downwards, basically concave, convex. So will these blue ones. The blue ones take up a little less space, so it's just a matter of which ones I fancy in the lyre guitars. Guitar at the moment, and I think it's going to be this particular one here. Terribly well made these are, by the way, and I say they really are a smashing little bit. See, just by finger tightening that out, it's bent already. Straight away it bends, and it goes the other way as well. So it goes. Can you see down it? Look down that with your camera. Look at that. Marvellous bit of kit. So I think sitting there with them, that's the choice for the lyre guitar. They're very tough. the last. You can just pull them out as well if you broke the truss rod. You have to be a very strong man to break one of these. If you did, you can just slide it out of the guitar from one end. Marvellous, eh? And we can replace it as long as we've got another one in stock. Should never need to replace it, I'm joking. There we go. Not like me to joke, is it? So we've chosen. And I think we've chosen wise. There we go. I'm just presenting my little truss rod up to the guitar. Now, I haven't decided on the inside yet of this, on the heel of this guitar. But luckily, it doesn't really matter too much with this truss rod system. Like I say, I can slide it in from this end. And it doesn't matter if we stop there, it will still bend. I think it's really a marvellous little bit of kit. So that's what's going in there. There's the bits of wood that we're going to bend, and oh my God, I've got so much to do. I think I'll go and have my tea.
What are you having tonight, Doug?
Oh, no idea. I hope it's a big pie.